my movie is finally complete. Even better, the public loves it. So now, I can finally release a sequel that absolutely no one asked for, and that will probably ruin the first one. I'll be rich.
Yep, what you just saw is something that way too many TV shows and movies fall victim to. Money can create the best TV show or movie ever and destroy it. So let's see one of the biggest victims of this: Big City Greens. It's honestly pathetic how bad this show got so fast. The first 2 seasons were great. You could tell a lot of care and work went into the episodes, with some awesome episodes like Bill Ever, Trailer Trouble, and Hiya Henry. At the end of season 2, things got a little shaky, but they still worked. Now we hit season 3. This is the point where all the writers decide they're making enough money and they don't have to care. Now this show was good, but it definitely wasn't great. So when this happened, it was all downhill. One of the most unbelievable episodes from season 2 is where they go into a virtual reality room. That's it. In the very first episode of season 3, they meet aliens. This is really disappointing because this is supposed to be a pretty down-to-earth show. And don't even get me started on how they move back to the country. If you ask me, Dirt Jar would be a perfect episode to end the series on. But nope, they gotta milk it for all they can. I wish I could say they decided to stop the show, but nope, it's still going. Another gigantic failure is Full House. This show falls victim so bad to it that I am going to be making an entire separate video about this show. But to touch a little on the subject, I would definitely say the show should have stopped at season 2. If you disagree, you can cry about it in the comments. The next one we're going to talk about is Smile. The first movie is absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. The thing is, though, it ended kind of perfectly. Okay, so maybe not perfect, but I think it ended in the type of way where you really shouldn't touch it. And that is how we went from this to this. Happy Death Day is nearly identical in this fault. For those who don't know, Happy Death Day is basically where this mean bratty college girl gets killed, but then wakes back up, and then gets killed again. In order for her to stop dying, she needs to find out who's killing her and then stop him or her, and ends up becoming a better person in the process. But then in the second movie, it decides it needs to explain why the day kept happening over and over. But I feel like this is the type of movie that really doesn't need an explanation. Like, the world just realized she was a horrible person and it needed to fix it. But the second one totally ruined that, feeling like they needed to show some science-y explanation for it. Though the whole reason I made this video is for one movie, which is The Black Phone. For those who don't know, Black Phone is my #1 favorite horror movie of all time. But when I heard a second one was possibly coming out, I was so sad. The reason is, Black Phone ended at a perfect point. Finney defeats the grabber, their dad says he's going to try and do better, and the souls can rest in peace. I feel like people aren't even caring about the movie anymore. They just care about the money. And they could get money by just making a whole nother story, instead of ruining what they've already made. Now, I don't have anything against just sequels. I only have stuff against unneeded sequels. That's because even when someone is making an unneeded sequel who actually cares about the movie, it mostly never turns out. What's that? You need an example? Well, here you go.
That's me, Megamind, master of all villainy.
Some not so honorable mentions are A Christmas Story 2 and The Lion King 2. Pretty sure half of you didn't even know they existed. That is because they shouldn't have. Well, I really hope this stuff stops, where people only care about the money and not the story they're creating. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But that's really all I got. So, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.